Welcome to the Dugout. I'm your host, Joseph Silva. On this week's episode, I tell you why you should be listening to my series recommendations, and we look at whether or not the defending champions should keep up their title defense or just give up now. But before we get started, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to Playbook Sports. The NFL's training camp's starting pretty soon. I wouldn't want to miss an episode of the Hot Seat. Great fantasy football advice over there. Now, for our first series, we're talking about the Yankees and the Reds, and it has been rough in the Bronx for the Yankees. Their collapse has started a little early this year as the Reds go in and sweep them. In Game 1, the Reds won that 5-4. Graham Ashcroft pitched 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Bullpen finished the rest of the job. They went remaining 4, gave up 2 hits and earned no walks, 2 strikeouts. And the closer, Alexis Diaz, win an inning with strikeout. That was someone we looked at last week as an area the Reds need to address if they're buying or selling. So for him to come in and just have a good inning against this Yankees lineup is something you love to see if you're rooting for the Reds. Offensively, Elly De La Cruz in his first game in the Bronx did not disappoint. 2 for 5, 2 runs scored, a triple, a homer, 2 strikeouts though, but phenomenal stuff. Electric stuff from De La Cruz. It's exactly what you pay to see from him. Great overall. Heimer Candelario and Will Benson each contributed a homer in the win. For the Yankees, Luis Gil, after being anointed the Rookie of the Year favorite, has struggled mightily in the Bronx, and it continued in this start. He only went 4 innings pitched, 4 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, gave up that home run to De La Cruz, 83 pitches. He just did not have his stuff at all in this start. It was really rough to see, and he's that guy the Yankees were counting on to fill in for Cole, and with Cole struggling and him struggling, the pitching staff is getting really rough really fast. Offensively, Aaron Judge, he was beautiful in this game. 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, another home run, but it's Aaron Judge. What do you expect? He's going to homer. He's on another phenomenal pace. But someone you want to look at too, Ben Rice has come out of basically nowhere. He drove in 2 in this game and has provided a lot of offensive help to a struggling Yankees lineup at the moment. In Game 2, it was a tight affair as well. Reds won this one 3-2. The winning pitcher was Andrew Abbott, 6 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits and earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Rough command, but he was able to get through it and pitch through a difficult Yankees lineup. Bullpen went the rest of the way, 2 2/3, 2 hits and earned, 4 walks, and a strikeout. Alexis Diaz again comes in back-to-back nights, walked a batter, didn't give up anything else, and earned the save. Offensively, not a lot to talk about for either side, but Noelvi Marte is back from his PED suspension, and the PEDs may still be in his system. He did hit a home run, drove in 2, solid game from him, and he's one of those that the Reds are now expecting to contribute because he was supposed to be a member of this bright young core for Cincinnati. For the Yankees, Carlos Rodon was not bad. He went 5 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, gave up 2 home runs though. The bullpen did all they could. They went the rest of the way, 3 2/3, no earned, no hits, a walk, 5 strikeouts. They were dominant. Volpe came back and had a solid game. He was 1 for 3, 2 walks at the he was 1 for 5, drove in 2 runs. Soto was the one who was 1 for 3 with 2 walks, doing typical Juan Soto stuff. Volpe again has been struggling. He really did look like the next Derek Jeter when this Yankees team was blazing red hot. He's struggling again, and the next Jeter comparisons may have looked a little lofty. And in the finale, the Reds just dominated that one start to finish. They went 8-4. Frankie Montas picked up the win. He went 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Bullpen was a lot rougher in this one compared to the last 2 as they went 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned, 2 strikeouts in the finale. And then in this one, it was all about the long ball for Cincinnati. Spencer Steer, Noelvi Marte, and Jonathan India each homered in the win. For the Yankees, Marcus Stroman had a rough start. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Stroman again was another one of those pitchers who was pitching well. Yankees fans loved him, his personality. Now they're beginning to turn on him once the Stroman struggles begin to come in. And it's rough to see, both for the Yankees fans and Stroman. Not a great situation overall. Bullpen wasn't much better. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Soto homered. Austin Wells, Ben Rice homered, but that was about it offensively for the Yankees. They were dominated by an average at best Cincinnati pitching staff in this series, and really they have 3 hitters, if you're being generous at the moment, with Rice, Judge, and Soto. Everyone else is struggling to various degrees at the moment. And again, 3 hitters cannot carry an offense. You see this in Kansas City. no matter how good Soto and Judge are, they're the best offensive duo in baseball. But they can't hit for the other 7 guys. They cannot contribute the way the Yankees need them to. Pitching wise, it's been rough in this stretch. The Yankees got to figure it out because they are not the team they were before this cold streak, and they're not the team they are in this cold streak. They're somewhere in the middle. So it's about figuring out who the Yankees truly are if they want to win ring number 28. The Reds, this is their blueprint for winning series, is they need solid pitching, a good bullpen, and then just hit dingers all day. And that's what they got from everybody. Marte hit 2, Benson, Steer, De La Cruz. They were all great, and these are the people they expect to contribute here. Promising series for the Reds as they look to catch up in that crowded National League wildcard race. Now, the second National League wildcard race series we're going to talk about here is Braves and Giants. Giants took this one 2-1, and it was not a pleasant series for the Braves. In Game 1, the Giants took this one 5-3. Hayden Birdsong coming up for one of his first few starts. He won the game. He went 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 homers. Bullpen locked it down from there as they finished the final 4 innings with 2 hits and earned no walks, 4 strikeouts. The struggling Camilo Doval came in and locked it down. He has not been the guy he was last year, but, he's starting to turn it around. At least it looked like it in this series. An inning pitch, 2 strikeouts, classic Camilo Doval line if you're the Giants. But first-time All-Star Helio Ramos, 2 for 4 with a homer and a walk in this game. Beautiful stuff. He was a top prospect that kind of wasted away for a while, and now he's breaking out with the Giants. Everyone else loves to see it. I hate to see it because I don't wish anything good on the Giants, but it's a feel-good story if you love the game. Regardless, Soler and Lamont Wade each homered in the win as well. The Braves, Reynaldo Lopez, just did not have it today. The All-Star went 4 1/3 with 4 hits, 2 earned, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 homers. Not the best command. He had 101 pitches, didn't even get out of the 5th. It was tough for him, and he's one of those guys that's got to hold this Braves staff together because no Spencer Strider. Fried is getting back there. He's not fully where he was in his Cy Young contention. Chris Sale is up there, but Ronaldo Lopez is supposed to be the 2 of this staff right now. Didn't pitch like it in this game. Bullpen did shut it down. They gave the Braves a chance here. They went 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned, walk, 3 strikeouts. Not the best for them. And Austin Riley and Sean Murphy homered in the win. These are 2 guys that have been struggling for the Braves. And Riley, looks to be turning it around a little bit. Murphy, you're hoping the same from as well. And in Game 2, the Braves took this one 3-1. Chris Sale continues to be vintage 2018 Chris Sale. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, and earned 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. Bullpen gave up nothing in their 3 innings of work. They struck out 3 as well. Raisel Iglesias locked it down for the save. And just, again, Austin Riley, he's looking to turn things around. And I think he may be. He was 2 for 3, a double, an RBI, a walk. Great signs for him because he's one of those that has to turn it around here. He's struggling. Olsen's struggling. Ozuna's starting to come back down to earth. Who is going to be that big bat in the Braves lineup here with Acuna down? Austin Riley's stepping up big. For the Giants, Jordan Hicks didn't pitch bad, but someone had to be straddled with the loss in this one, unfortunately. 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. The bullpen for the Giants, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Great pitcher's duel for this one. And you're just looking at it, no one really contributed it offensively for the Giants. Just a rough game overall. But in the rubber match that they brought it home, they won 4-2 behind ace Logan Webb's fantastic start. 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned, a walk, 6 strikeouts. Classic Logan Webb stuff. He's not going to strike you out, but he's going to limit hard contact. He's going to get his ground balls. You're going to get your hits. You're not going to score off him, though. And you saw it in this start. Bullpen locked it down for the final 2 innings, only allowing a hit and striking out 3. Helio Ramos, again, 2 for 4, homer, 2 RBIs. The feel-good story of the year continues to do so. And Chapman, we're talking about Riley, the third baseman for the Braves, turning around. Chapman, the big signing for the Giants in the offseason, he's turning it around, too, because he's 2 for 4, a double, a homer, 2 RBIs. That's what you're paying him the money for. His defense has been great. It's starting to slip a little bit from that platinum glove self he was 5 years ago. But if you're getting this kind of offensive production, you don't really mind because this Giants lineup needs another big bat in it. For the Braves, Charlie Morton went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, only 3 of them were earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, 2 homers. Bullpen for the Braves once again was solid, 3 2/3, a hit, no earned, a walk, 5 strikeouts. And I've been saying it, Riley's turning around, and this is further proof here, as he drove in the only one of the runs in the game with a double. He's just finally figuring out here. Because again, this Braves lineup is good on paper. They just haven't shown it this year. Travis d'Arnaud's their best hitter behind Ozuna, and you're not really paying your backup catcher to be your best hitter here. So when Riley's tearing up, he's one of the best hitters in the league. He's starting to tear it up. Things are looking up in the ATL. But overall, they're still struggling. They don't have a real offensive identity. I love Jared Kelenic as much as the next guy, but he's not a leadoff hitter, especially in a team that has World Series aspirations. You're looking to fill that spot somehow, and he's good, but, Harris is struggling. Albies is struggling. Olsen is struggling. Everybody's struggling. You got to figure out what to do here if you're Atlanta. The pitching is good, but you still need a 4 and 5 starter. You still need offensive production, and they got to get it from somewhere. Meanwhile, the Giants, again, Ramos and Chapman are carrying this team. Patrick Bailey, I haven't talked about him yet, but he's having a great offensive year on top of providing some of the best defense any catcher has in the league. Pitching staff is good. They are looking to improve. But again, these are the type of series the Giants need to win if they want to stay in contention because, yes, the NL wildcard is starting to separate itself. It wasn't like it was 2 weeks ago where everyone except the Marlins and the Rockies were within a game and a half of each other. But, you still have to be in contention somewhere, especially when you shelled out all this money in the offseason. So it's good for the Giants that they win series like this. And last week, the series of the week was Padres and Diamondbacks. I told you to watch it. I hope you watched it because the first 2 games were some of the best games of the year. In Game 1, it was a 10-8 thriller. I could talk about the pitching lines and everything, but I'm going to just talk about the 9th inning because it was one of the, if not the best 9th innings in all of baseball because the Diamondbacks were down 5 going into the 9th. They loaded the bases. Padres not messing around. They bring an all-star closer, Robert Suarez, and immediately gives up a grand slam to Alek Thomas. Not looking the best. Still a 1-run game. You're not going to worry too much. And then you give up the go-ahead home run to Randall Grichuk, who proves why he was drafted ahead of Mike Trout. So now you're looking down. It's not looking great until Profar hits the game-tying home run in the 9th, ties it up again at 8-8, and Manny Machado, who finishes off a fantastic day as he was 4 for 5, scored 3 runs, and hit the walk-off 2-run home run to send the record-setting crowd in San Diego into a frenzy. Fantastic Game 1 overall. Maybe the game of the year. Game 2 was another tight one. This one went into extras. Brandon Pfaadt pitched solid but did not get out of the 5th overall. Bullpen had to pick up a lot of the work. They went 5 2/3, gave up 4 earned, so not their best stuff today. But in the 10th, Christian Walker, the Dodger killer and the man who haunts my dreams, should have been an all-star and maybe knew it because he was playing like he was getting revenge. He hit the go-ahead single in the 10th. The bullpen locked it down. Padres lose. But overall, Ha-Seong Kim rebounded nicely. He was 3 for 5, a run scored, 2 doubles, and an RBI. Waldron was solid, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. And we're highlighting Manny Machado here because he's got to be that bat in the Padres lineup. 1 for 4, an RBI, 3 strikeouts. Not the best game for him. And in the finale, it was just a blowout. Corbin Carroll homered, and the Diamondbacks didn't look back from there. Ryan Nelson went 6 2/3, 3 hits, and earned a walk, 5 strikeouts. Bullpen didn't give up anything after that. Eugenio Suarez, 3 for 4, a homer, 5 RBIs. It was a tight, don't let the scoreline fool you. It was a 9-1 Diamondbacks win, but it was close going into those final couple innings, and the Diamondbacks exploded in the 8th and 9th innings. Dylan Cease had a great start. He went 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned, a walk, 8 strikeouts. This is the Dylan Cease they really need at the moment with Musgrove and Darvish on the IL. You're getting these kind of starts from him. You can rest easy a little bit, but the bullpen was catastrophic. 2 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 earned, a walk, no strikeouts. And this bullpen was really supposed to be a strength for the Padres going in this series. And they just got annihilated. Their all-star closer, Suarez, blew a save, had to be rescued by the offense in Game 1. The bullpen gave it up in extras in game 2. And in a tight game, you got to hold it down, give your offense a shot. They just blew the game wide open, didn't even give the offense even the remotest of chances going in the final few frames. And of course, Profar got his. He homered for his 100th career home run. Manny Machado 0 for 4 after a blazing start to the series. But overall, this series I wanted to watch because it's one of those, again, in a very tight NL wild card, in a very tight race behind the Dodgers for second place in the division. You really have to win games like this, especially if you're the Padres. And they just couldn't do it. The bullpen was bad. The offense was good. But again, you're relying too much on Profar. You need Machado to step up. You need Tatis to step up when he gets back from the IL. You're really waiting to get healthy if you're the Padres, and that's not a spot you want to be in because you cannot rely on guys coming back from injury as your big acquisitions here. And the Diamondbacks, again, their pitching is not the best. That's something they need to improve on. But the offense is great. The right guys are heating up at the right time. Christian Walker is always going to get his. You need more games like this from Eugenio Suarez. You need Corbin Carroll to get hot. And let's just see if the Diamondbacks can prove that World Series run was not a fluke. But speaking of the World Series, the team they faced in that World Series and lost to is our next team in buy or sell at the deadline. This has been a rough title defense for the Rangers. I'm not going to lie. They're a distant third in their division right now, kind of treading water, below 500. What do you do if you're the Rangers? Well, the lineup is as such. At catcher, you have Jonah Heim with an 80 OPS plus, down year for him. Nathaniel Lowe has been a decent surprise, 114 OPS plus at first. Simeon has struggled as the lone all-star representative at this team at second with a 90 OPS plus. That's not what you're paying him for. Josh Smith has filled in very nicely for Josh Young at third with a 140 OPS plus. Seager's having a down year. The shortstop only has a 129 OPS plus. Wyatt Langford is starting to hit that top prospect ceiling he has. Slightly above average, 106 OPS plus in the outfield, but the other two are struggling badly. In center field, Taveras, very bad, 81 OPS plus. Adolis Garcia is just slightly below average at a 98 OPS plus. And Evan Carter, who is on the IL at the moment, again has struggled mightily this year with an 80 OPS plus. The pitching-wise, the rotation has been good. Michael Lorenzen, 122 ERA plus, 97 ERA plus from Andrew Abbott, 100 ERA plus from John Gray. Evaldi, solid 124 ERA plus. And Max Scherzer, he is finally back from injury, and he's pitching like Max Scherzer. Only a few starts under his belt, but a 147 ERA plus is exactly what you need from the man you're paying to be your ace. Now, the bullpen, mostly solid. They have the closer Kirby Yates, who is an all-star this year, and going into the season, they have the 7th-ranked farm. What do you do? Well, it's very clear that they need a bat in this lineup badly. Yes, Simeon and Garcia are having down years. Seager's having a down year by his standards. Heim's having a down year. You need an outfield bat desperately because Carter is not stepping up at all. So what are you to do? Do you buy depth or do you go for the big, sexy name? I personally think they need to make a splash because the American League is just loaded with talent. Houston is coming back with a vengeance. The Guardians are a fantastic team. You know about the two-headed monster in the AL East with the Baltimore and the Yankees. So if I'm Texas, just go big. You have the prospect capital. Get Pete Alonso, man. He is expensive. The Mets are only willing to trade him if they get the right price, and they're one of those teams, again, just fighting for a wild card in the National League. But you got to pay up if you want to defend this crown and just get there, because if a lineup of Simeon, Seager, Alonso, and Garcia has that home run pop you need in the postseason, and again, it's a rental. He's probably going to go back to New York, but you have Lowe under so much arbitration years. I think he has 3 or 4 years left of arbitration. He will fit in nicely at first base. He will still be your first baseman. But again, if you look at that DH part, it's primarily been Evan Carter when he's been healthy, and he's got an 80 OPS plus, not what you want from a DH. Just put Alonso in at DH if you want to make a big splash. If you want to play low, have a low-key postseason or trade deadline, let the prospects develop in your farm. Miguel Andujar is a nice plug-and-play piece. He plays the outfield. He's having a nice season in Oakland. He's not going to be as expensive as Alonso. And again, he's just someone who fills in the gaps nicely, gives people days off, and really helps add depth to a lineup while the guys try and figure it out here, because I am not going to give up on a title defense. I know you've built this team with a very specific vision in mind, and I don't want to say you accidentally won a World Series, because you never accidentally win a World Series, but the core was supposed to compete, a year or two after they actually won it here. That's a very tricky situation for them. Do you buy big with Alonso? Do you buy small with Andujar? Or do you just kind of sell some of your pieces, stock up the farm even more, and really push in 2025? I say just go for it, man. The farm is good. You can't have too many prospects. Like, the Orioles just don't have places to put their guys anymore. The Dodgers had this problem for years. Lux came out overcooked. Bush was hot. He struggled a little bit. He has struggled mightily after his hot start. So just don't overcook your farm. Don't overload your farm. Just buy small. See what you can do, because this team can get hot in October. Now, the last series to watch was a classic. I'm going to give you one that could be even better. In a potential preview of the NLCS, it's Phillies and Dodgers starting on Tuesday. The two best teams in the National League go head-to-head in what is going to be a fantastic series. Game 1, Bobby Miller goes for the Dodgers. He has been rough this year, especially since he's come back from injury. He's 1-1 with a 6.12 ERA, a 1.6 WHIP, 25 strikeouts on the year. Surely he's not going to face anyone good. Oh no, he's facing Zach Wheeler, who is 9-4 with a 2.74 ERA, WHIP under 119 strikeouts. He's a Cy Young contender in the National League. He is pitching phenomenally. We all know this about Zach Wheeler. Going to be a good Game 1 regardless. Game 2 is going to be the best pitching matchup. A resurgent Gavin Stone coming in 9-2, 3.03 ERA, 1.2 WHIP, 73 strikeouts. He faces off against Christopher Sanchez, who's 6-4, 2.96 ERA, 1.24 WHIP, 82 strikeouts. These two have been surprises for their teams. They were not expected to be the frontline guys at all, and they're pitching like frontline starters at the moment. Fantastic stuff overall. And in the finale, Landon Knack, 1-2, 2.86 ERA, WHIP under 131 strikeouts. He's been one of those guys called in to plug holes in this rotation, because everyone who pitches for the Dodgers seemingly gets injured every single year. It's hard to see. But if Knack's pitching like this, I don't mind it. He faces off against Aaron Nola, who's been resurgent this year. 10-4, 3.48 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, 107 strikeouts. Pitching matchups, aside from Game 1, are going to be must-watch, but the lineups are filled with so much talent. These teams have the most and second most all-stars in the National League. Turner, Schwarber, Harper is scheduled to make his return from the IL on Tuesday. Fantastic Phillies lineup. You have guys all throughout who can do a lot of stuff. Oh, and by the way, Alec Boehm finally hit his potential. And the Dodgers, you know about Shohei Ohtani. You know about Teoscar Hernandez. You know about Freddie Freeman. These guys put on shows. It's going to be a fantastic series. Must-watch television. And I, for one, am not going to miss it. But what about you guys? What series are you looking forward to the most? Are you buying or selling if you're the Texas Rangers? And what team should I do next in that series? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed the content, go ahead and leave a like. And don't forget, on the way out, play ball.